Everyone has a story. Stories have power. They help us understand. Jessop's Journal is a collection of powerful, positive, and inspirational stories. It's time for Jessop's Journal.
I'm Doug Jessop. Welcome to this episode of Jessop's Journal. This episode is like for the dogs, okay? Or maybe the Dougs, you know, the dog from the movie Up. In this episode, we get some powerful tips from dog trainer Joe Dickinson. If you got a dog, you think about it, okay? You might sing to it. Well, there's a country music star that was singing with his dog, and his dog started singing back, ended him up on national television. Chris Peterson's gonna join us, and yeah, he's gonna sing as well. Keeping with the canine charisma, later in the show, we feature the inspirational story of Gunny Monster. He was the Toys for Tot dog for years. But first, Joe, it's time to sign into Jessop's Journal. Hi out there, I'm Doug Jessop, and welcome to this episode of Jessop's Journal. With me today, Joe Dickinson. You've got a friend here with you. We might as well introduce him or her. Who do we have here?
This is Amelia. Amelia Earhart is her name.
Hello, Amelia.
She's a border collie.
Okay, so any particular reason why Amelia is here today?
Well, Amelia is my stock dog. She's my personal dog that I compete and trial in cattle herding.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I did a story a long time ago with sheep herding. So same kind of thing?
It's similar. With the cows, it's a bit more aggressive.
Oh, I bet.
It can be a bit more technical because the sheep act differently than cattle do.
Yeah.
Your sheep typically won't turn on the dogs.
Yeah.
And if one sheep heads out, typically that one sheep will come back. With cattle, if one cow goes, the rest of them go. So it's a little bit more
herd mentality.
herd
I guess.
mentality.
Okay. Well, the other thing is, I'm looking and say, okay, when I did the story, the sheep are, here.
Yeah.
Cows, big difference.
Way
I mean,
different,
I
yeah.
gotta say, do you get worried about her getting stepped on?
You do. They will get kicked, and some of the seniors of the crew have missing teeth.
Oh.
Yeah, it can be pretty aggressive.
What's the difference between a stock dog and, for lack of a better term, a house pet dog?
Sure. So your pet dog is your companion. There's no direct job or purpose for them other than our selfish companion. They do have jobs, but it's very home-based. Where your stock dogs are out working on the ranches, they assist cowboys. A lot of the cowboys will have, out there with 2 or 3 dogs holding fences, and so they're very purposeful in what they're doing.
You obviously, have done a lot with stock dogs, but I understand you also have a company that does training for pet dogs, I guess is the best way to put it.
That's really what I do full time. My stock dogs are my passion, and something that I have had from the time I was 12, and all the kids are gone and got back into my roots, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But my passion is training people how to train their dogs.
Okay, because the body language thing. If you had 3 tips that you could give people, with their dogs, what would they be?
It's 3 really complex things that can be really simple, and the one is stop talking to your dog.
Okay, wait. Okay, you're supposed to give this dog commands and this and that. You're saying don't do that?
Don't do that.
Why?
Because our body language speaks to the dog much better than our words do.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2 feeds into the first one is consistency.
Yeah.
And staying consistent, our bodies can stay consistent because our bodies say yes, and then we feel bad, and then we don't follow through. So it kind of, they all feed into each other.
Little softy, it's like,
I would dare bet, Doug, that if your wife was not happy with you, you've disrupted something. She probably doesn't have to say anything. Right? Because you've thrown off
Yes.
the rhythm.
Well, let's put it this way. With this COVID thing, We have determined collectively that she is not ready for me to retire.
Yeah.
Okay, because I mess up her routine.
Right.
Right. And so what would tip number 3 be?
Tip number 3 would be to have expectations on your dog.
What do you mean?
We forget how amazing they are and how capable they are of specific things.
Okay.
You can be in a meeting and working from home, and your dog is capable of laying on its bed for 4 hours.
Wow.
But we forget that they can do that.
Okay. Do you train children by chance?
People ask me that all the time.
It's like, I've seen plenty of kids roaming in Zoom calls just saying, you know who I'm talking about, Carolyn. Anyway.
We have 3 kids that made it to college, so that's,
Okay.
We just trained them like dogs.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes
Stop talking, stay consistent, have expectations.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that you can teach this old dog some new tricks, so thank you. So you've been doing this for a while. You said 12. Okay, what's the significance of being 12?
I got my first dog when I was 12, and I think my dad figured I was ready to have some responsibility.
Oh, okay.
And that's what triggered my journey of training dogs. I was riding horses and training horses for people when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
And anything that I could do to get my hands on the animals and bring things home all the time. And so I was ready for a dog, and I had begged and begged and begged, and I hear this all the time where the moms and dads finally give in and get the kids a dog. And my dad had some rules with the dog, and that was it cannot have an accident in the house.
Yeah.
Which is hard when you're getting a puppy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you have to train it.
Okay.
And don't ask him to take care of it.
Says it's your dog, not mine.
It's your dog.
Okay.
Yep. So, it took out a lot of staying over at friend's house and doing all of that because I had responsibilities. And
so what was that dog's name?
Sam, and Sam was a border collie.
Okay, so border collie, okay, and one syllable name, okay, Sam, Joe, okay, it works, yeah. So you've given the 3 tips on, how to set expectations, be consistent, and listen. Not necessarily in that order, but yeah. Is there advice that you would give somebody to say, okay, there's a family that wants a pet, okay, they want a dog.
Yep.
Is there advice on picking the right kind of dog for the right kind of family?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Just a quick little story, to start with. I had another border collie, and I live in the city, and we're not on a ranch, and so he just couldn't live the city life. And so I ended up, he's working on a ranch in Texas full time. And so I had to find the right border collies that could live in the city, have a city life, and go to the country to work. So there's definitely things that you need to do. And the first thing is that you have to be selfish about what you can live with, meaning what does the dog look like? What kind of coat do you have? Do you want? What looks good to you?
Okay.
And I find that when we start there, it makes you a little uncomfortable because you're like, well, I shouldn't be judging that, but you have to like this. And there's also the hair factor in the house, and if you're going to walk out with white hair all over or not, or if there's allergies in the home.
Right. Yeah. Because I admit we did that in my family. We had the allergy thing, so we needed to find somebody that didn't shed so much.
Right. Right.
But and you hope that this animal is going to be with you for a long time, and so you do want to make that commitment.
Right.
Okay. So what would be the next advice?
The next advice would be, what size? Because you can get different looks in different sizes. Then I go through and talk to them about what their lifestyle is like. Are they neighborhood walkers? Are they hikers? Are they outdoors? Do they want an off-leash dog? If you're wanting an off-leash dog, probably not a husky. Unless you're, there's a lot of time.
Unless you can run really, really fast.
Right, So there's activities. What is the family doing? And then what are the kids' involvement in the dog as well? And then at that point, we start looking at breeds. and then we start looking either into rescues or breeders, depending upon, do they want to go the puppy route, do they want to go an adult route. But within that realm, you start picking out personalities.
Oh, yes.
And every dog has its own personality, just like human beings do. Yeah. So it's finding the right personality to fit into the rhythm of the household. That is something that I do for free for people.
Wow.
Because when you have the right dog, it's priceless.
Joe Dickinson, how do you want to leave your mark?
I would love it if every person learned the connection that I have with my dogs. It's pretty emotional for me. Yeah. These animals can take you through a lot in life, and if I can share that with everybody that I meet, get a dog.
Get a dog. Well said. One of my favorite inspirational quotes is from Audrey Hepburn. She said, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." Everyone has a story, and sometimes those stories are told through music. It's time for Jessop's Jukebox.
A little birdie tells me that Chris Peterson here, he's ram tough, right? Yeah. Well, I'm pretty darn sure that this next song defines four-wheel drive in a slightly different way. Hint, there's a woman right over there. I'm pretty sure he's singing to her.
Yeah, them cowboy boots, dang right they fit her. Better than Cinderella's glass slipper, and she'll cuss your buddies and she'll quote the Bible. She's a real life, real tree, camouflage model. I want a woman that's four-wheel drive, the kind that's tough enough to keep me in line, but she's pretty as a pearl-handled 45. I want a woman that's four-wheel drive. Now she can chop wood, cinch a saddle. If you're ever up a creek, she can whittle out a paddle. When she holds that trigger, you bet she's gonna kill it and go and pry it up in a cast iron skillet. I want a woman that's four-wheel drive, eat a fresh tomato straight off the vine, and then shoot me down with them 12-gauge eyes. I want a woman that's four-wheel drive. I want a woman that's four-wheel drive, a little mud on the fender, but she still shines with that well-built bumper, looking good from behind. I want a woman, I want a woman, I want a woman that's four-wheel drive, got a pickup truck that's nicer than mine, and if it breaks down, she'll fix it up with baling twine. I want a woman that's four-wheel drive. So if you find one, boys, keep me in mind, 'cause I want a woman that's four-wheel drive.
Word on the street is I'm the TV hat guy. I designed this hat around this ribbon right here. It's a 100-year-old ribbon. The hat's named the Elijah. Elijah was my great-great-grandfather. We've heard country music star Chris Peterson sing. Now it's time to hear the story behind his music. In today's episode of Jessop's Journal, I have Chris Peterson with me. Chris, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
How did you get into doing the song writing side of things?
It was always something that, growing up, I always had a song in the back of my head, and if I was listening to, let's say, my dad singing a song, I would just hear the melody, and I'd find myself coming up with my own words. And it just started that way. I would always write down lyrics, and
I don't even know why I did, because at the time I never had written a full song when I was a kid, you know, but I would write down just lines that I really liked. And so later on in life that came into play.
Yeah. So do you remember the first full song that you wrote?
I do.
Tell me about it.
So it was kind of one of those broken-hearted love story things. I got stood up by a girl for a date, and I just couldn't understand why. And I came home, and I had a roommate that had a guitar, and that guitar was sitting in the corner. I walked in, and I saw it, and it was like there was this ray of light on the guitar. It's like, you have to pick me up. Yeah, literally. I was like, I heard this. And, So I went and picked the guitar up, and I just started strumming, and I wrote one line to this song, and I recorded it, and I thought, I liked that. I liked how it felt to write something. And from there, I had a good friend that played the guitar really well, and we would always go over, and a big group of us would make up songs. So we'd sit in a circle, and one person would get one line, and then you'd pass it along. And that's kind of how I started singing in public, because before I was scared. I was a pretty shy kid growing up, and did not dare to sing in public until I got in that group of friends, and I was comfortable singing in a small group. And so started off that way, and I went to one of the friends I had in that group, and I said, hey, I've written this line to a song, and I want to finish it. Do you want to help me? And so she's like, yeah, sing it to me. And I said, nope. No. Those were my inner thoughts and feelings, and I wasn't about to share them. So about a week of sitting on it, and finally I thought, you know what, I can do this. And so I went and I said, I'm ready to write the song. Okay. And so I sang her the song, and she listened to the melody and wrote some chords for it, and I finished the whole song that day.
Really?
Yep. And so I was like, all right, I like this. And so what happened from there is I had this song written, and she knew it. And so every time that we would go anywhere as a group of friends, she would say, Chris has a song he's going to sing.
It's like nothing like putting you on the spot, right? Okay.
The first time I did it, I'm like, no, I'm not. And finally, I did. And ended up week after week after week playing for my friends, and pretty soon they started really pushing me, you need to pursue this. And so I pursued it from there.
Do you start with the words and then the music, or vice versa, or how do those interact with each other?
A lot of times I'll be listening to somebody else's song or some random music, and a line will pop into my head. And in those cases, sometimes you'd say the music started first. A lot of times I'll just be riding my horse, and I'll have a line pop in my head. And from there, I feel like every phrase has a melody. You just have to find it. And so what I usually do is I'll just start singing, and the melody's there. And then from there, I'll look at the chord structure that fits and go from there.
Wow. Every phrase has a melody.
I would say so.
You know, that sounds like it might be a name for a song. I'm just saying. It's like, So you do a lot of driving. What kind of vehicle do you drive?
I have a Ram truck.
And is that Ram truck, by chance, have four-wheel drive?
It does.
It does have four-wheel drive. Okay, so there is a song that you do called Four-Wheel Drive.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how in the world did you come up with that song?
It's actually based on my girlfriend.
Okay.
We were just kicking around stories, and I actually have another friend that has this story of when he met his wife. They went on their first date, and they were at a steakhouse, and she pulled out a pocket knife to cut her steak, and he instantly was like, that's my girl, I'm getting married. And so I told that story out in Nashville, and we just started laughing about it, and that girl sounds a little bit four-wheel drive. And anyway, we basically wrote around that. And my girlfriend one time, she sent me this video. She had a dishwasher that she had just bought, and she was going to put it in her house. And I wasn't there. I was working somewhere, and so I couldn't help her unload this dishwasher. And I just said, how are you going to get that dishwasher out of the back of the truck? And pretty soon I get a video, and it's her pulling this dishwasher by herself out of the back of the truck. And I was like, man, she's 4-wheel drive.
There you go. Okay, awesome, very cool. So you started with performing music around your buddies, okay, and then you open up in your hometown with Colin Ray.
Yes.
So you've done a couple other things since then. There's this little TV show that people might have heard of called America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently you have some kind of connection there.
Yeah, we were on that show this spring.
Really?
Yeah.
Virtual fist bump. Okay, so how in the world did you get on that show?
I imagine my girlfriend probably sent a video of me to them, but it was, I don't know, 2 years ago. I was driving down the road and filmed a little thing with my dog singing a Chris Ledoux song with me. I don't know how I found this out other than we started driving. Like I said, I travel a lot, and my dog was in the passenger seat. And I always sing as I drive, and I started singing, and my dog started singing with me.
Really?
Yeah, and I couldn't get her to stop. I'm like, what is going on here? Well, then over time, I found out that there was one particular song that she loves, and I can't play it without her singing along.
Oh, okay.
And so I had that recording. I put it on social media, and we on Facebook it ended up getting over 2 million views. And so I believe my girlfriend sent that to the producers of America's Got Talent, and they contacted us and said, hey, we'd like to see some more videos of you and your dog singing. So over a period of a few months, we sent them videos of different songs, and anyway, ended up getting on the show.
With your dog?
With my dog.
I saw this music video that you did.
And it's back on the interstate, state line in the rear view. I bet with a little bit of luck.
You're coming home, okay, you got the truck, and then here's this cute girl that's coming in and everything, you know, and my wife and I are watching this and I'm going, okay, I wonder if he even knows this girl, if it's a casting thing or what. So do you know which video I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay, tell me about that video.
Cowboy Coming Home.
Okay.
And I would never do a video like that with somebody I don't know.
Okay, just checking.
I've done videos like that, but I use 2 other people who know each other, and I'm not the person in the video.
Okay. So yeah, just so you know, people, there's a little smoochy.
So that one was my girlfriend.
Okay.
I thought, you know what? Who better to be in this video about me and my feelings than her? So.
And she's the one that is 4-wheel drive and knows how
That's
to
right.
move a dishwasher.
That's right.
But I don't know if she's got a buckskin knife that comes out to cut the steaks.
She's got a couple knives.
Okay, well, just be careful, yeah? What does country music mean to you?
Country music to me is the most authentic genre because I feel like that's songs about life. For me personally, that's what they are. Songs about life and my life and how I see the world. So I feel like it's through country music we can connect with a lot of people because you're telling your story, and then people listening, they're driving around down the road somewhere around the world and they hear this song and they think, that's me, that's my life, this is my song, and that's what I love about country music.
On the edge of 18.
One of the reasons I love to share it so much is because you can connect with people on a deeper level than just maybe a melody that means nothing to anybody.
But you know, every phrase does have a melody.
That's true.
A wise man told me that. Okay, so Chris Peterson, how do you want to leave your mark?
That's an interesting question. I kind of feel like this book, I don't want to just leave one mark, I want to leave a whole bunch of marks. And that being said, that means a lot of different people. We can touch the lives of different people. And if you can leave your mark on each different person, you're going to have a ripple effect on the world. And I'd like to do that through music, be able to relate and connect and tell stories and make people feel joy. And also there's this life goal that I have of helping people through horses. And so ended up deciding this somewhere along the line of life with my love for horses. And I want to be able to make the world a better place, help people that have troubles through horses. Because they're a powerful, powerful animal. And I believe that just like music, horses have a way of connecting with people. And so through music and horses, I want to be able to make people's lives better.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion you're going to do pretty good at both of those.
Well, we sure hope so.
Well, thanks, Chris, for coming on to Jessop's Journal.
No problem.
Life is never boring. Sometimes you have something I like to call the wonderful world of regret. If you've ever had a tattoo or permanent makeup that you've fallen out of love with, the folks at Tattoo Away have come up with a pretty cool system that literally removes the ink out of the skin. It's been said that U.S. Marines are a special breed. Well, in this story, I hang out with a whole different breed, Gunny Monster. Woof! When Gunny Monster tells you to drop and give him 20, you better listen.
When we're working with the recruiters, we'll put them in these drill instructor uniform and stick him by a pull-up bar. Help people get that little extra last pull-up.
Gunny's driver, Troy Grant, served our country as a United States Marine.
His first uniform was one of my old uniforms.
What's this I hear about best dressed?
When we walked out in front of the crowd yelled loud enough that the dogs on the mountain started barking in return.
Gunny's winnings as best dressed dog at Soldier Hollow were donated to Toys for Tots. Gunny has been the mascot that has overseen various programs, including Toys for Tots in Salt Lake.
This was his 9th season.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Sadly, this was Gunny's last season helping Toys for Tots.
Come to find out he has osteosarcoma cancer. Eventually it will take his life. So for right now, he's kind of an experimental treatment to help with the bone density and control his pain. I gotta admit, the last 9 years has been a journey. We've met some outstanding people. I would change it for the world.
Gunny's made a difference in people's lives, and so can you.
Any advice I can give somebody? Pick a charity, just get out and help. Get involved. You might be surprised where it takes you.
Gunny, thank you for your service. You wash your hands, and hopefully by now you've taken my advice and started washing your nose. Clear nasal spray washes away the bacteria and it helps you breathe better. So join me and Doug, the dog. You know what he's going to say. Everybody take a deep breath. Say it with me. Squirrel! Thanks for watching this episode of Jessop's Journal. It's my honor to be able to provide powerful, positive, and inspirational stories on TV and at jessopsjournal.com. Everyone has a story. Stories have power. They help us understand each other. With another entry into Jessop's Journal, I'm Doug Jessop.